He was the first who was caught, and with him he had a suitcase full of very interesting documents, none of which have of course been released by the archives yet. He had an interesting excuse that a prostitute had sold him this case, and he was hoping to recover some of that money if he could take it to the proper authorities. And if you think that is a lame excuse, don't worry, it gets much better. However, the suitcase's most shocking document revealed that Peterson had recently visited Heejenan, a town rumored to be a center for atomic research. Later it was discovered that Germans actually had a lab there with an isotope separation unit, and in a nearby cave, an experimental pile. So this is how they find their way to Heisenberg's now famous lab in Heejenan. When the site was eventually captured, 1.5 tons of metallic uranium cubes from the pile produced by the Auerwerke was found buried in a nearby field. They found the elusive German nuclear program. It is looking more and more as if it was not the Americans but the Germans who won the race to create a ready-to-use nuclear weapon, when we incorporate the information I will now present to you. But Heejenan, who worked in Stadilum, did, and he was 100% on board with the cause. The Allies later assessed him in the summer of 1945 as follows: very friendly on the outside, an unpleasant personality who cannot be trusted. He could certainly be trusted to use all his strength to build a bomb, and Heejenan knew more about atomic bombs than he let on. End quote.
How can this not be front page history?
Dr. Hans Kammler was appointed as a Führer's representative for radiation research just before the completion of the first functional German atomic bomb. That we know of from the many post-war reports that I have cited to you in earlier episodes. On March 4th, 1945, at 9:26 in the evening, the first atomic bomb was detonated on the test site, military training area near Ohrdruf in Thüringen, the so-called Triangle. With a cable pull that stretched over a distance of 300 meters, the bomb was pulled towards a steel mast 32 meters high and detonated at the height of 6 meters above or near a group of prisoners assembled there. It was not an H-bomb or any other bomb. It was the first of its kind in Germany.